I totally understand why men wanted their wives to stay home and do the cooking and the cleaning while they worked. There was a point in time where my boyfriend stayed home because he had a work from home job and I was working full time, going to work and from work. And he did everything. He did the cooking, he did the cleaning, he did the shop, all of that. I would go to work, I would come home, dinner, ready, laundry, done, floors, vacuumed, okay? All of it, right? It was like, this is what it feels like to have a stay-at-home wife. It was bliss.
Let me just say, I think this is pretty dope. I love the fact that she's able to experience what a lot of men have experienced over the years. Not so much nowadays, but back in the days, this happened all the time. But I do want to say, this is pretty interesting to me, considering the fact that he is doing the exact same thing a stay-at-home wife would be doing, and he's still working a full-time job. She said the man works from home. I didn't say it, she said it. So that means this man is cooking, cleaning, doing the laundry, vacuum cleaning. This is what she said. But there are a bunch of women out here complaining when they have to do it without a job. I posted a video a while ago about this guy who has a 1-year-old. He works from home, but he takes care of the child, cleans the house, cooks, do all the stuff that a stay-at-home mother would do. And he was blown away by how easy this is. So I think it's time for y'all to come clean, ladies. It ain't as hard as y'all keep saying it is.
You're a liar. You're a liar. You're a liar.
Let's just be honest. I think it just comes down to bad organizational skills, bad time management, bad planning. And for some of those women, they're just plain lazy. But y'all gonna quit coming on here acting like being a stay-at-home wife is a big deal, because we on to y'all now.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Notice how there's no female loneliness epidemic? We're like going back to school and becoming the most educated we've ever been in all of history. We're advancing in our careers and climbing the corporate ladder and becoming the breadwinner in a lot of our families.
Turning 40 this year and everything is just hitting me right now. It's like not where I wanted to be. I haven't succeeded at anything. God, have I even tried? I don't even know anymore. I don't know how to do anything. I don't know how to cope with anything.
We're traveling with our friends and taking Pilates classes and learning how to cook or sew or paint.
I'm telling you, that singleness only hits you at night. When you ripping and running throughout the day, when you at work, when you whatever extracurricular activities, when you doing hobbies, when you at the gym, you don't even care about being single. That's not even on your mind. But when you pull up to the house at night and you get in that bed alone, that's when you be like, I really wish.
We are developing ourselves and strengthening our bonds with other women.
Still on my mind, do we build it up? Just to let it all.
We talk about the average man that's on dating apps. That man has to swipe right 200 times before he plans one coffee date, and 4 of those 5 coffee dates will end up ghosting him. That means that man of average attractiveness has to swipe right 1,000 times before actually going on one coffee date. That man has to have so much internal self-confidence and self-worth for this not to start chipping away at who he is. And then on top of that, women all day long will tell him that man just needs to do better. He needs to grow as a person. He needs to be funnier. He should dress better and he should start taking better pictures. He should redo his dating profile. That man very often will do these things. But more often than not, there is no change, and then that man just becomes more frustrated with dating today. So much so that man just decides to stay single. And that man will either just get lucky someday and he'll eventually meet a good woman, or he will find happiness in his singleness.
This woman had made a post talking about how social media had radicalized her against men, and now she realized that she was completely wrong. And this is why you have to watch the information that goes on your timeline, because of confirmation bias. Once, in like the movie Inception, once an idea gets dropped into your mind and then things keep coming to feed it and feed it and feed it and feed it, that idea will start to come to define you, and that will be all you will be able to do. That will also be all you will be able to see, because we don't see with our eyes, we see through them. But your eyes can only see what your emotional wounds allow you to actually see. We don't see with our eyes, we see through our eyes with our minds. But the minds can only see the eyes can only see what the mind can comprehend, and the mind can only comprehend what our emotional wounds allow us to see. So if you're taking in all this information and man is bad, man is bad, man is bad, you can't be mad when you're in this situation and you're alone.
Unpopular opinion. A lot of women are not as emotionally mature as they claim to be, or that they've convinced you that they are. Because emotional maturity is the ability to understand, manage, and express your feelings and your emotions in a healthy way inside of your relationship whenever you're facing challenges, especially whenever you're mad. And whenever most women get upset, the only feeling that they know how to express in that moment is anger. Self-awareness leaves the building. Self-regulation is gone. Empathy is not there. Accountability never even enters at all. We ain't gonna even mention that word. That's gonna make them a little bit madder, and they no longer know how to communicate in a healthy manner. But they're emotionally mature. But that's not something that can just come and go. Because when you're emotionally mature, you're very mindful of your emotions and you're mature enough to handle them.
No one wants your man. No one wants your man. We promise you are safe. And there are some women who are saying, no, you can't borrow my husband because why would you want to? Social media has made you all very paranoid, and it's made you all very self-centered. No one wants your man. I promise you, your man is safe. It's okay. She just wants someone to help put the TV up for her. Now, if you're one of the men saying, no, you can't borrow me, you're just as self-centered. You're just as selfish, and you also are not contributing to community either. My friends matter to me. I love them. I care about them. And so I want to help them when I can. Now, I am not like my husband. My husband is 6 foot. My husband is tall. My husband is strong. I am not. So if my friends need help moving something that's hundreds of pounds, I'm not going to be of value. I'm not going to be of use. My husband will, though. And because I care about my friends, my husband should care about my friends too. My husband should be willing to help and offer because he cares about me, and because I care about them. That is a package deal when you are extensions of one another.
For any of you guys that saw the "Can I borrow your husband" video, you guys know that this woman was like bent over asking like, can we normalize borrowing your husband? Because of that, to me, I don't think that you can utilize the comments as some sort of proof of any kind of analyzation of anything. The reason why men are having a problem with this video is that they are once again feeling like they are only valued for what they can do for you and your friends. He is only valued for putting up a TV or doing other manly things around the house. But what really stinks is that a lot of men end up going through them not being asked directly, or them not even having the opportunity to volunteer for it. They are just told to do it. They are expected to do it, which ends up cutting right through the thing that is most important to men, which is appreciation. Because guess what? If he feels like you expect it, he is never going to feel appreciated. It is not that they're self-centered, it's that your approach is terrible and you need to work on it.
So it took 4 women and 1 woman standing around doing nothing to do a job 2 men could do. Congratulations. The question is, what happens if you don't have 3 of those girls? You can no longer do what a man can do.
I'm sitting here sick and worried. And this man is sitting in this car. Really? 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 Seriously? Seriously?
Look, ladies, there is a reason why that man is sleeping in his car rather than going inside and relaxing after a full day of work. He most likely just finished a pretty stressful day at work, and now he's about to go into another stressful situation, which is at home. Unfortunately, you are part of that. You are stressing him out probably the minute he walks into that home, and his body knows that. That's why he's having a hard time walking through that door. So instead, he takes 10 or 15 minutes in his car alone just to help decompress. In this situation, that man, instead of going somewhere else and relaxing, he decided to play it safe and just pull into his driveway so that you weren't worried about where he was. With that, he got this reaction, which tells him the next time to maybe go somewhere else, or maybe just drive a loop around a few times.
You know, yeah, kind of piggybacking off of, well, I'm a stay-at-home mom, and it's so hard, I can't get anything done. You know, modern women, what they continue to do is they try to make whatever they're doing more important than whatever you're doing. And that's very selfish of them. And when a man says, well, look at the stuff that I'm doing, I'm going to work. And he starts to list out actually valid stuff that he's been doing at work. You know, if a man were to a man could quite easily go to ChatGPT and say, okay, here's what I do on a daily basis. Also, here's my job description. List these out bullet point by bullet point as a separate job on its own, and what you could get on the market for this job. Then I think a whole bunch of that stuff, all that talking and all that nonsense will go out the window. So I decided to go ahead and see if I was full of crap, right? I did something for like just a basic financial analyst, right? So you had, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 jobs within that financial analyst job. Broke it down, he'd be making a lot. Based on the average salary, each one of these boys is pulling in over 50K. I don't think it even goes beneath 180. So each of these boys is pulling in 80 for each of these 10, 11 jobs or however many it is. You separate all these roles and combine them. This man's not even 40, it's about $36,000 shy of $1 million a year. $1 million a year. Let's say they get a bonus. Okay. Let's put a modest bonus. So let's put a modest bonus on some of the applicable jobs, right? Give me a modest bonus. And it ain't got to be nothing too crazy on some of the jobs that you might see a bonus. Okay. So if you add applicable bonuses to that, the man is probably pulling in, just for a financial analyst, he's pulling in about $1 million, not quite $1.1 million, but you're looking at $1 million, maybe 34,000 a year, because you have 70K in bonuses. I'll leave. It's really 71.7, but I'll leave it at 70. I'll leave it at 70, right? 70K in bonuses. So he's making a little bit over $1 million. While you say, okay, here's what it looks like for a stay-at-home mom. Put those duties like separately. So she's looking at a base salary of somewhere around $263,000, right? If you add on a bonus for her, about 21K, that ain't bad. Then you're looking at about 284,000. Million versus 284K. So the man's still bringing in more value there. So let's go something a little bit more closer to your wheelhouse. Financial analyst is probably going to be something that's a little bit more specialized, right? If you have more of a man of the house role, you would see the man doing a handyman, home repair. That means drywall, plumbing, appliances, and general fixes. You would have him be an auto mechanic, a landscaper, doing lawn care, might be a project manager or a general contractor, might be security or property watch. He might be doing IT or tech support. If you combine all of those, you get a base salary of about $324,000. Really honestly, yeah, it's about $324,000, right? If you add a bonus, annual bonus, then you'll have something around 25.9. Okay? You put both of those together, you have 349.9. So even if we do like a more apples to apples comparison, a man is still over you, not by 100K, right? But probably if I'm doing quick math, somewhere around 60 to 70K. So he's still out earning you by 60 to 70K. What are we doing? And y'all still want to go out here and raise, and a lot of times the man is doing all of these things in the house and he's working. You are a stay-at-home mom. So the man has his job that he works as the man of the house, as the provider, but then he has these responsibilities. So let's say he makes say in America, maybe you might need a job that pays you, let's say 50K. Let's say 50K. That's a stretch. So you would add on to what he's already doing. You'd have to add on let's say $349.9. You'd be closer to, no bonuses assumed with his job, you'd be closer to $400. So his lead would grow. God forbid the man actually have a job to where you can buy this or you buy that, you can go on vacation. Now you're looking at closer to $100,000. Okay. And if you put 100,000, and if he has $100,000 job, he's probably going to get some bonus or something like that at some point in time. Even if it's a 10-20% bonus, he's going to have, let's say a 5-10% bonus. Even without that, you're looking at 34.9. Let's round it to 350. Okay. You add 100 on top of that, you're now looking at 450, almost $500,000. Lower your tone when you're talking to men.
There's a new epidemic happening with men, and I really want to talk about it because I just can't believe we're really having to come to this point, okay?
This video is going to go by really fast. Please try your best to keep up. Viewer discretion is advised.
Doesn't matter if I'm walking through a door, through an elevator, name any rectangular box that humans have to walk through, okay, to enter or exit somewhere. Men are just shoving their way in front of me every time. For example, I'm in the elevator, okay? There's two men, one on each side, all right? It's happened twice, might I add. And we get down to the lobby, right? Okay, the door's open. I'm in the middle, and I'm the only girl. So I'm like, surely I get to go first, right? No. This man literally takes his shoulder and shoves me out of the way to exit first. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe he has somewhere to be, even though he's not at a brisk pace. He's not like trying to really get out of there. It just was like his time to get out. I was like, okay, you know what? Fine. As I start to take my step, I'm like, I'll be the second one out, right? The other man also taking the shoulder, going around town, right, to get in front of me, to also get out of the elevator. It's like...
Yeah, I know she lying, right? I know it's a lie. Like, I really hope y'all know it's a lie, because you really believe that story? 3 people in the elevator and people are shoving her out of the way to get out and they're not in a rush? That makes sense to y'all? Let alone it's 2 men, one on each side of her. She's the one directly in front of the door, and they mushed her or shoved her to the back to get out before her. That's the story, which in turn says y'all all was standing shoulder to shoulder in an elevator? That is so unnatural. People don't stand shoulder to shoulder in the elevator unless they're forced to. If it's just the 3 of y'all and you're in the middle directly in front of the door, typically you would just move closer to the door. You don't stand shoulder to shoulder with complete strangers. Ladies, I'm not gonna lie. I had high expectations. Ain't nobody touched that girl in any way, shape, or form. She's lying. And it's clear as day. I know it's the beginning of the month. Rent is due. So y'all trying to do whatever y'all can to get these views up on the videos and whatnot. But bro, take it easy, okay? Relax.
There's gonna be men in these comment section going, well, that's what happens when you ladies want equal rights.
So what does this have to do with equal rights?
What happened to just being polite? Would you want some man to shove your own mother out of the way? What?
See what I mean? See what I mean, right? I'm telling y'all that she's lying. And I know there are no men talking about, oh, that's equal rights. That has nothing to do with equal rights. If anything, those men are just trolling you because they know you're lying. You think because you sped up your video, slowed it down to add emphasis to certain words, and then added your own set of energy behind it, you thought we was going to believe you because of that? Nah, we still don't believe your lying ass. Boy, I tell you, I'm getting so desperate, man. It's getting so sad to see this. But you know what? I know they ain't going to listen to I'm saying, because I'm just a normal guy. Yeah, keep the change.
I'm going to say something that will piss a lot of people off today, especially the girls. Girls who think they can marry up. This is about growth and your actual made value versus your self-deceptive value. Let us be very clear. There is a huge difference between increasing your value and increasing your price tag. For many of you, your effort didn't make you become a higher value woman. You just become a more expensive woman. For years, we've been told, invest in yourself. So women did. Luxury handbags, designer clothes, 5-star wellness retreats, and every purchase came with the same justification. I am investing in myself. But let me ask you one question. What exactly did you gain? Did your income increase? Did your emotional intelligence improve? Did you become better at choosing partners? Did your relationship get healthier? Or did your lifestyle just become more expensive? Because those are 2 very different things. When you spend years upgrading your lifestyle without upgrading yourself, what's happening is your expectations go up, but your actual made value doesn't necessarily go up with it. Now, you no longer want a regular guy. You want a guy who can afford a lifestyle you become attached to. The nice restaurants, luxury vacations, expensive hobbies, designer tastes. Suddenly, your dating pool got really, really small. Not because you've become exceptional, only because you've become more expensive. And here is the uncomfortable part. Many women believe, I spent $50,000 becoming this woman, so I deserve a man at this level. But men don't evaluate women based on how much money they've spent on themselves. A man doesn't care that your handbags cost $500. He doesn't care about your skincare routine costs $800. Those things impressing other women far more than they impress men. What most high-quality men actually look for is surprisingly boring. Peace, emotional stability, good judgment, kindness, loyalty, self-awareness, the ability to build a life together, none of which can be bought at a mall. Real self-investment isn't about becoming more expensive. It's about becoming more valuable, more capable, more emotionally mature, more financially independent, better at relationships, better at making decisions, better at life. Think about this for a second. If 10 years of investing in yourself only give you higher standards, higher expenses, and fewer dating options, would you see that as self-improvement? No, you would not. That's called lifestyle inflation, and that is not the same thing as personal growth. Girls, the life you want and the relationship you want won't be created by spending more. It will be only created by becoming more. I'm Tungluk, aka T. If you like this message, give a like and follow me. You will date and love smarter.
Just because you regret it don't mean it's not non-consensual.
This is insane. Like, this man is giving me the most attention that he's ever given me in our whole entire relationship. I decided to meet a guy and I said, look, I've never done this in my life. I've never cheated. I've never laid eyes on another man when I'm with another man, but this is what my boyfriend has always wanted. And I think that he, could we do...
Man, you could believe that if you want to, but trust me, if a woman don't like something, she's not doing it. It's not because of the boyfriend, it's because she wanted the other guy herself.
I was so unbelievably drunk and I was also on my period, and he was like, yeah, that's fine. And I was like, really?
Of course they're gonna blame it on the alcohol and then try to make an escape route saying I'm on my period, and the guy's still gonna say yes, knowing that you think that's nasty, but it turns you on low key.
He's like, yeah, sure. And so I ended up doing this with this guy, and I remember obviously going back home and I couldn't sleep in the same bed as him that night, and I was crying, like hysterically crying, like on my sofa, because I just felt disgusting.
Now listen, remember, she says I felt disgusting. Couldn't sleep in the same bed as her boyfriend. I felt disgusting. Listen.
Felt not very consensual. It didn't feel like this is something that I wanted to do. I did it for someone else, which does that now make this not consensual? Like,
you see how they try to flip the script to play, oh, I'm the victim, like I did it for somebody else? You knew what the you was doing. You're not gonna get drunk or go a dog or a cow. You knew what the you was doing.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
You're doing it for someone else, but you didn't want it.
I didn't want it. And so woke up the next day and he had obviously read the messages on his phone where I told him that I'd hooked up with someone. He came downstairs, kissing, hugging. I love you so much. You are amazing. Da, 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 da. And I was feeling really about myself. And he was like, look, I understand if you don't want to do it again, but if you do, like, I would really want you to get video footage of it. And I was like, this is insane. Like, this man is giving me the most attention that he's ever given me in our whole entire relationship.
First of all, the boyfriend is a cuck. He's a weirdo. Now that we got that out the way, she's a piece of shit because she's trying to flip the script and saying, oh, it wasn't consensual. And anytime they use it as a feel bad for me, even though and I don't want to take responsibility. I swear, accountability is some women's kryptonite. Conclusion, men, no matter what you say to your girl, if she's not jacking it, she ain't doing it. I don't give a who you is. And women, I know you're not going to listen to this, but stop trying to make men look like the bad guy. If you don't like something and you're a dude because you're irresponsible, don't say, oh, it wasn't consensual when it benefits you. Don't do that. A lot of men lose their freedom in life over the lies y'all be telling. Do better, you whores. And we have people living like this? Ah, man, we're cooked. We're cooked.
I don't think men leave happy homes. I think they leave once that respect is gone. I have been divorced for 8 years. I was with my ex-husband for a total of 10 years, and we have a child together. And these are some of the things that I have learned along the way. And no, it did not come overnight, but ladies, listen up. If you want true loyalty from a man, ladies, you have got to stop making your husband or significant other the punchline for your social media likes and the gossip ring for your girlfriends. And don't forget, respect is like oxygen for a man. You take it away long enough, and I'm gonna tell you what, honey, he is gonna suffocate. And men don't just wake up one day and just decide to leave. Men leave after the same repetitive days, like coming home after working hard all day to the nagging, complaining, moaning, and griping. This in the ear as soon as they walk in the door. And sometimes you hear these women say, I don't know what happened, he just changed. Or maybe he just adjusted to the way that you've been treating him. And some of you I know are going to say, well, it sounds like he just can't handle a strong woman. Then, no, I'm pretty sure he can handle a strong woman. He doesn't want to handle a disrespectful one. So when your husband gets home from work, hug him, tell him you love him, how much you appreciate him, how much you're thankful for the hard work that he does to provide for your family. Because I'm telling you, you do not want to be on the other side of this fence.
You know, I don't know why modern women keep on lying and talking about they're not lonely. It's too much evidence out there. Number one. Number two, it's modern women saying, I am lonely. I am looking for a partner. Well, just love yourself. Just be comfortable in who you are. Love your life. I do love my life. Stupid. Stop telling me that. I do love my life. I would like to have a man. Well, just don't worry about it. It's going to come when you least expect it. I haven't been expecting it for 5 years now. And it has not come at all. Are you going to give me some practical tips to finding my man? Where do I go? Oh, get dressed up in your nicest dress and a nice sleek black dress. Put on the best weave that you have, hair extensions, load your face with makeup, have your chest showing. Go out there and get the shortest skirt that you can find. Don't wear any underwear. Don't wear a bra. Go out there and you'll get plenty of men. Stupid. Once again, I am looking for a man that will respect me for who I am. A man that actually likes me. I am not only looking for a one-night stand or a situationship. What can you tell me? And that's where all of these so-called dating coaches, these women, female dating coaches and matchmakers lose it. Me telling you to do the right thing is not going to make me money. You're not going to be single if I tell you the right thing. You're going to go out there, you're going to find a man, and you're not going to need me as a matchmaker anymore. So that's going to be me losing money. I need you to continue to pay the subscription. So I got to tell you, go out, have fun, and when the right man comes along, he'll come along. But until then, dance the night away. I'm still lonely. I'm dancing the night away. I dance all the way into the Uber. I dance all the way in the Uber, all the way home, all the way to my front door, in the shower, all the way to my bed, and then I start crying because I'm still lonely.
I'm married. That's what's relevant to me.
That's what's relevant to you?
Yeah.
When did you get married?
Approximately 3.5 years ago, almost 4 years ago.
What would you rate me on a scale from 1 to 10?
Like hotness?
Everything, overall.
Overall, hold on. He's a 10.
Can I get a kiss on the cheek?
Oh, do you know what's so crazy? Women will literally, oh my gosh, men are controlling. They won't let us go out. They won't let us have a girls' night. We can't even have fun anymore. If this is your idea of fun, I could see why your men are telling you not to go outside. Can I say something that probably is going to be really triggering, but this is just my mindset? I've never had a partner be so adamant about you can't go out, you can't do this, you can't do that. In the beginning, of course, because they barely know you, they're getting to know you. But once I'm already with a partner for a long time, I don't experience extreme amount of jealousy. But do you know why I think a lot of you women experience your men not wanting you to go out? I think it's because they know you're not the girl to trust. They know that you'll suck a pee-pee for a soda. They know that you're ready to throw your back over a lemon drop. I think your boyfriends know how easy you are. That's why they don't like you going out. They've seen you drunk and you're easy like a Sunday morning. Let's be real here. My partners have never been on my that hard about don't go out, Tay, don't do this, don't do that. And now I can see why. I got a mouth on me. Bro, I'll tell you in an instant second, get the out of my face, dude. I'm cool. I'll be nice the first couple times, but if you keep being persistent, I'm gonna be rude because I told you move. Another thing I wouldn't do, I wouldn't be rating guys. I would not even stop and talk to a man. Why are you doing that? You know what's so crazy? Y'all, I've been a bartender for years. I even drink. I've drank so much bottles. Y'all, I'm not even exaggerating. A flask and all that. And I never thought in my mind, let me see what it's like to take this for a spin. I don't get wild when I drink in that way. Like fun, dancing. Yeah, I think that if you start being a little, I think you were already to begin with. It's already in you, babes. So I think a lot of the times when your partners are on your about things, I think that they know they can't trust you. And this is the reason why a lot of men don't want you guys going out. When women drink, they get aroused. You learn this when you get your license to be able to sell liquor. That's why they always tell women be very wary of the things you drink and the things that you do when you are intoxicated. Because you can be a lot more promiscuous. You're going to tell me that this is not true? I've been around a lot of women and I've seen you guys go from one little thing, chilling, having a good time, to ready to make out with somebody and fuck them, and you got a whole man. Do men do this as well too? Of course, but this video is about a woman. When you guys get upset about men not being chivalrous and not wanting wives and not taking women seriously, when you look at these videos, if you were a man, would you want to get married? Exactly.
You live your life, you grow in shadow. You'll come apart.
Yeah, so there was a woman who actually did this. She used to be a feminist, and she decided to dress up as a man for like a couple months and go out and just live the experience of what it's like to be a man. She herself. Her story was actually so big that it made it into the New York Times, and her name was Nora Vincent. She wrote this book called The Self-Made Man. It went global, and it really depicted like what men go through, and her herself was even shocked at how she was treated, how much she was dismissed, and that experiment fucked her up psychologically so bad that she actually took her own life at 53. I faced a lot of controversy over this because 3 years ago when I heard of the story, I was an ignorant and I said that I didn't feel bad for her because she used to be a man-hating feminist. Yeah, pretty disgusting, pretty grotesque, not my proudest moment, and I've taken it back every day ever since, and I still do. So instead of being an ignorant prick like myself, why don't you actually try to figure out like what men are going through, or actually don't, because it'll probably cost you your life. Realizing the actual that men go through every single day just because you think it's harder to be a woman, it's just not the vibe. Oh, you're actually ignorant, you're grotesque, and you're wrong for this. Rest in peace, Nora Vincent.
You are allowed to leave your perfect husband. You are allowed to end a relationship with a really great boyfriend. The kind of guy that all your friends and family love. They say you're so lucky to have found him. He checks all the boxes and he really cares about you. You're allowed to end that relationship because no matter how good he is, no matter how great he is to all the other people in your life, how much they all love him, it does not change the fact that when you get into bed beside this man at night, you feel inside. It does not change the fact that when you do the bedroom things, you don't feel passion. You don't feel like your body is singing and coming to life because, by the way, that's what it's supposed to feel like, FYI. You just feel like you are going through the motions of something that you are trying to get over and done with. And you don't feel an urge to be close with him throughout the day. You don't feel an urge to be affectionate. In fact, you feel resentment. And that resentment is starting to spill out in bitterness.
Of course, anyone is allowed to leave anyone, but ladies, you better be ready to be the villain, especially if that good man you're leaving is your husband. And I'm just gonna say it because most women cannot handle being the villain, which is exactly why women will make a good man out to be a bad guy. So on top of completely blindsiding her husband with divorce papers, she also oftentimes publicly bashes him in order to justify leaving him. And don't even get me started with what she'll say about him if they have kids together and she doesn't want to share them. That's the side of this advice that's really messed up.
You can't hang out with your boys, you can't hang out with your own son.
Bro, I already gave you the money.
It don't matter. You're a dad now. The baby's here. I've had him.
The baby supposed to be with Jesus. I told you what to do.
It don't matter.
That don't matter, bro. You had the
dad.
baby. You take care of your responsibilities. If you man enough to have sex with my sister, you man enough to take care of the baby. What's your problem, bro? Hey, bro. But what's good with you, bro? Who is you? This your sister baby. I gave her that money.
Okay, so he gave you the $500 to abort, but you didn't have to abort if you didn't want to. You don't have to do what you don't want to do. But at the same time, he told you that he did not want a baby and didn't want to be a daddy. So why are you going to look for him? Like, I'm not finna beg a soul to take care of no baby. They don't want to take care of baby. Okay, cool, whatever. Yes, he laid down and had that baby with you. He did everything in his power to get you pregnant, because you can't get pregnant by yourself. But when somebody tell you they don't want a baby, that don't mean that you have to get rid of the baby. Just know that you're going to take care of the baby by yourself. I wouldn't beg him to do, like, that's your loss at the end of the day. This your seed that be running around out here. Matter of fact, sign your rights over, baby, so I don't have to deal nothing with your period, point blank. Girl, go find a stepdaddy. They got some good ones out here.
Years ago, my husband told me that I was a bare minimum wife and mother. This obviously upset me. I felt like I was doing everything. I was raised by a mother who contracted out raising us, worked full-time, and our coaches, teachers, the heavy lifting of raising us. So as a stay-at-home mom who makes home-cooked meals every night with her children from sun up to sundown, eyes open to eyes closed every single day, what do you mean I'm bare minimum? So I took this very personally because he didn't really elaborate. Started doing all this extra stuff like making butter, making pasta from scratch, doing all this extra stuff. Now I'm in his face like, who's bare minimum now? Who's bare minimum me? It was still me. I was still bare minimum. Because it wasn't my culinary skills that he was talking about. He wasn't looking for handmade pasta. He was looking for a wife and a mother who did her job and did it without an attitude. Saw her children as a blessing rather than a burden. Brought peace and comfort and light to the home. But I was so angry with his honesty that instead of taking a second to consider that maybe I was bare minimum, sis, you can do all the work in the world, but if your attitude is stinking up your home, it's going to be your legacy. That's going to be all that's remembered. And most of the time, the problem is we just need to slow down. Now, this is something that I'm still working on, still working through. And recently, it was something that I needed to be reminded of. Cooking, cleaning, feeding your family is the easy part. But what attitude you do it with is going to be what's remembered. Working way too hard, don't tarnish your legacy. 30 years from now, your children and your husband won't look back and remember that delicious butter. They'll remember overstimulated, touched out mother who screamed the whole time she made the butter, turned her back on her husband at the end of the night because she was so tired from churning her own butter.
Am I the only female that'll crack their homeboy if he wasn't my homeboy? Like, if we didn't meet 10 years ago and just build this amazing bond, I would out of you, man. Like, if I would have met you in the gas station yesterday, bro, got to know you a little bit, you would have got. But unfortunately, you're just my homeboy, so yeah, can't do that.
She said it, not me. She, not me. Whoever are friends with this young woman, I hope you can accept her admission of guilt, because she's having certain thoughts and possibly even certain feelings about the visuals. And for the fellas that have girls that have male friends, you might want to reconsider, because this is always right around the corner. Shoulder to cry on becomes, well, y'all know the rest. But, you know, when it's all said and done, fortunately for y'all, you ain't gotta listen to shit I'm saying, because I am just a normal guy. Y'all keep the change.
And you know, the funny thing about it is when the husband told the wife, you're a bare minimum wife, it was probably in the context of a disagreement. It was probably an argument. And he probably got so frustrated that she was probably saying, which what led to him say what he said, well, I do this, I do that, I do that, da, 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 da. And he said, you know what, honestly, you a bare minimum wife. If I'm being honest with you, you're bare minimum. That's bare minimum. You're supposed to do that as a wife. Modern women want a pat on the back for the stuff that they should be doing anyway. That's bare minimum. Those are your kids. You should be doing that. And it's women like this that sit back and they say, oh, no, you're right. Most modern women would sit up there and be like, no, I'm this. And she said, you know what? I'm going to show him. This is what modern women do. Instead of dropping them their pride, swallowing their pride, and saying, well, you didn't have to talk to me that way. But then also, maybe something that he said was right. You can do both, right? Because your pride and your ego can be like, oh, ain't nobody gonna talk to me, da 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 da. But then also, when you cool down, you might say, yeah, you know, he's right. I could be doing this, and this. And that's when the spirit of, oh, yeah, you know, I'm okay. That's when that spirit starts to be like, okay, well, let me go do this. Everybody gonna get mad, especially when somebody's attacking you. When somebody's saying something that goes against your worldview, you gonna feel a little rise in your chest, and you're gonna be like, oh, hold on, da, da, da. But afterwards, is what they're saying true? Does it make some sort of sense? Maybe not all of it, but maybe some of it. I need to fix that. That's what men are looking for. That's somebody that's coachable. Men go through it all the time. If I'm on a job, and especially in sports, if I'm out there and I do something, coach pull me aside, he start chewing me out. You gonna get mad. You gonna want to quit the team. But then the next day, you gonna have to mosey in and mope on in the coach office. Yeah, coach, you was right. You give me another chance. That's what's gonna happen. That's what y'all need to be doing. But modern women won't do that.
And you act like a people will treat you like a if you dress like a people will treat you like a if you're out here in these streets sleeping with everybody, unless it's been 10, 15, 20 years, I promise you, you will be in a cycle where you are used and rarely do those women get wifed by a high earning, masculine, high value man. They might get wiped by an Offset. Would you want to marry him?
You talking to me?
Anybody, any woman? No.
Absolutely
The answer
not.
is no. He's not. He's good for money. He's good for flash. But a husband?
No.
Negro, you stepped out on Cardi B so many times. It doesn't make you. You're high value. You're high earning. Do not confuse the two.
I feel like the issue is the women
Sorry,
need to know.
I was on a soapbox.
No.
I'm
But
just hurting
it's-
for young
it's
women
needed.
today.
I feel like people need to know that what you're doing is wrong. If you're spreading your legs to every
It's not
cardinal
wrong.
direction, it is wrong.
No, it's not wrong. I don't want to misconstrue the message. It's not wrong. It's just not in alignment with getting a high value, high earning masculine man. Okay. That's what it is. You will not. They will for the long term, because it's another thing too. High earning, high value masculine men, they don't mind playing in these streets either. They outside.
Right.
They are smashing what they want. And it is a double standard. So if you want to be one of the women they smash, cool. You will be one more woman closer to him finding his wife.
Okay.
You will be a placeholder until that man has his wife.
So
I'm sorry.
so
Am
this
I-
love.
men,
So they
men. Am I telling the truth?
How do you nicely tell a woman that she need to shut up?
You know how we girls can talk? We can just cut each other off and be like, oh my God, did you ever go to the mall?
Yeah.
And girl, yes, I did. But anyways, remember that? Like, we can just talk like that and we can connect the dots. Men don't work like that. They have to work. They have to like walk through the journey. So a lot of times we're itching because we like, get to the point. We're like, what you
My wife
get
say
to
that
it.
all the time.
But if you can just be quiet for long enough, this is what I did with my husband. I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting to know him just by being quiet. Just by letting him have the conversation. I don't just say this because it's popular. I say it because I am in experience of it. When I decided to be quiet and just listen, even if it feels like it's not going nowhere, I'm starting to get his perspective. I'm starting to understand him. I'm starting to hear his background. I'm starting to hear his emotional temperament. I'm starting to hear how his day went. I'm starting to hear how I can cater to, like, you're beginning to like actually hear your man, because what we do a lot of times in marriage as women, we're trying to shape them through our conversations.
Right.
We're trying to make them, like, we're trying to force them to feel a way, force them to say things, like we're completing sentences for them. No, sis, let them finish it.
Yeah.
Let him scramble for some time, but it's a perfect way to get to know them. So
What's it like dating in Barcelona?
I'm in a relationship for a long time, so...
How long have you been with him?
5-6 years.
How do you keep a relationship lasting that long?
Patience. Patience and loyalty.
Do you think it's easy to stay loyal in a city like Barcelona?
No, but not in a city nowadays.
At what point could you see yourself moving in with him?
2-3 years.
But you've been with him for 6.
Yes.
So why even stretch it out to 9?
Because I think it's too expensive and I have to make more money.
Would you split the bills with him?
Yes.
You wouldn't expect him to pay everything.
No.
Why not?
Why?
You've never heard of the man paying for everything before.
Yes, I think it's stupid.
What led you to have that mindset?
I don't know. I earn my money. I pay my things. Why my boyfriend would pay my things?
His money is his money. Your money is your
My
money.
Yes.
So what do you think about Western cultures where they're like, my money is her money is hers?
I think it's selfish.
How do you handle dinners and that kind of stuff with your boyfriend? All the time?
Yes. Maybe if it's my birthday, pues then he pays. And if it's his birthday, I pay.
If I take 25 years out of the workforce to raise 6 of your kids, I have less of a burden.
Yeah.
Going
How do you not have
50-50,
less of a burden?
We
That's
paying 50.
manual labor. What if
Oh,
you're just-
that's manual labor.
What if-
I think that any job you can do in your pajamas can't be that hard.
Truly, if you came
them on
home
my back.
and your wife was in her pajamas every day, would that not like turn you off or make you feel a certain type of way?
I don't. Here's what most men want as the outcome for their children, who for the most part, by the way, are sent off to public school, and she's not watching them do nothing. Even if she stays at home and she raises them, and on top of raising them, homeschools them, right? And she does that in her pajamas, then that's still the least lazy thing she could be doing in comparison to sending them off to public school. So yeah, when you're talking about the labor added and what they have to do to raise kids, they mostly outsource that anyway.
Outsourcing takes time too.
Oh yeah, they have to wave at the school bus. It's a rough gig. They have to get their up at 6 a.m. to get them on a school
Well,
bus.
do you
It's a
ever
rough
think
gig.
about how much it would cost you to pay a nanny, to pay a house cleaner, to pay a private chef, to pay like all these
And
individual
then let's reverse
jobs?
it. Well, let's just reverse it then. Okay, but what about how much it would cost for you to be able to stay at home all day and do absolutely nothing and have cable television, have trash paid for, have your electric paid for, have all of your utilities, have vacations given to you, have all of that? That also has a high cost, a significant cost associated with it. So as you're about, wait a second, my maid service should be compensated. It's like, well, your living expenses are already compensated. You have to do nothing for it.
I don't think it is healthy for a man to be head over heels in love with it. I don't think that a man who is on a mission and genuinely has plans to do something great in this world, I don't think it's healthy for you to be head over heels in love with it. I don't. Because the truth of the matter is, us men, we love whores. I think that men actually personify the true meaning of love. We're willing to die for you. We're willing to go to war for you. We're willing to sacrifice for you. We're willing to protect you. We really love you. We are really willing to put it on the line for you. Whereas women, and this is no knock to women, I love my women, but this is just genuinely how you guys are biologically wired. The moment you don't have respect for a man anymore, the love is gone. You guys are primarily loyal to your emotions. And your emotions can be dictated off of what your opinion is. You could wake up one day and because of your own opinions and your own emotions and your own feelings, and maybe whatever someone else told you or what a friend's family, you could decide one day that this nigga is not the nigga you genuinely love and respect anymore. And once they don't respect you, it's over. Even though the whole time they could be wrong, which a lot of the times they are. That's why they try to circle back. When they leave you and you elevate, they try to circle back. Oh, fuck, I made a mistake. And that's no knock to women. It's actually just truth and realization.
The moment she pulls away, what do? Go get her, text her, call her, show her that you care, right? All of those things. Wrong. You do not do that. Ever. Now let me explain. When a woman starts creating distance and you start chasing her, what she sees is not love. She sees desperation and neediness. The biggest mistake men make is believing that more attention is going to fix the distance. But I'm sorry, guys, it won't. When you give attention in response to her absence, you are starting to expose your weakness. And showing weakness lowers your value. And when you lower your value, you get the attraction. When a woman pulls away, the strongest move any man can make is this. You simply don't make a move. You simply don't give a because a man with self-respect does not beg for access to somebody else's attention. Ever. If somebody wants distance, you give them more of that distance. You disappear because your life should never revolve around whether one woman chooses you or not, and vice versa. There are billions of women on the planet. You do not collapse over one person pulling away. Ever. So know your worth.
Seriously, you're still out here with this car and you work all day and then come home and ignore everything else for this stupid thing. We don't have money for anything I want, but you've got time for this every single day.
This is why I stay in the garage. I
You
need
should call
money.
here. I need things. You're out here wasting time again.
Done
Done
with
with it. Yeah, better not leave. I'm talking to you.
I have two things to say about this one. Number one, I think that any of you single guys will appreciate the reminder that you would rather be single and living a peaceful life rather than being in the wrong relationship. The second thing that I'll say is that obviously there's always two sides of the story, right? Maybe he is spending too much time in the garage. But ladies, this is not the way to handle it because this is the sort of attitude that will just push him away. He will want to spend more time in that garage versus looking within yourself, ladies, to figure out what is going on. Is it that he's away too much and that you actually miss him? And in that case, you should come at him with a very loving, I miss you sort of nature. Or is it not that you actually want to be around him more? It's just that you want him to do particular things for you. Therefore, you have these expectations that maybe you need to look at. Maybe they're fair and you should sit down and come to an agreement, or maybe they're not fair and they're just something that you have to change your mindset over.
So let me tell you something. Do you have lesbian money? Do you have lesbian money? If you don't have lesbian money, you shouldn't be dating.
I can answer that question for you, and the answer is no. The girls do not have lesbian money. They barely have straight girl money. Have you not seen the epidemic on this app about going 50-50 on a first date? These girls would cry if every time they went on a date, they had to pay half of it, let alone all of it in some cases. Oh my gosh. They would lose their mind. They can't afford it. Because unfortunately, some of these girls are asking these men for basics. You asking a man to get your hair, nails, lashes done? You don't have money, Bookie? You broke? What the heck's going on? A lot of the girls are broke, and it's very unfortunate, and they're still dating because for heterosexual women, they don't have to spend any money while dating. Dating, for the most part, is free for them. So they just do it whenever. But if the girls had any type of financial responsibility when it came to dating, we'd see a lot more single women than we already do.
And like Janice was saying, most of these modern women, they're broke. Even when they're talking about, do you have lesbian money? Do you have this? Do you have that? You don't need to be worrying about what people got because you don't have it. Y'all don't have anything. All of you are bums. You're a bum. There's nothing that a man can need you. This modern women, when they say stuff like that, that lets you know what they're doing. And this is what some of these lesbian ladies are upset about. Y'all are switching in between. Oh, you know, you ain't giving me what I want, I'll go find a man. Or you ain't giving me what I want, I'll go find a woman. And they're switching in between. And the lesbian women are like, why are you over here? You're not even a lesbian. Oh yeah, I want to explore it. No, I had somebody tell me the other day, they told me, you know, I've been in this game a long time. I ain't nobody's first project. I ain't nobody's first experience. You're not going to sit up here and use me to figure out what you want. I've been doing this for a long, long time. I'm too old for you to be out here playing games with me. And this is coming from a woman. And I'm sitting there like, yeah, I agree with you. This is what men be going through. And she was up. She just kept on going on about it. It's like, yep, this is what men going through. So, and this is a person that I actually know. I literally know this person. Literally know this person. So I'm telling you, man, these modern women, they be going in between. She was like, man, you know, they left the marriage after 20, 30 years. And now they want to, you know, feel themselves out and try this and try that. You're not going to sit up here and try out things on me. That's what men keep on saying. That's why men ain't paying for dates no more.